Welcome to the official Universal Disney Nuts podcast. If you're passionate about Central Florida theme parks like we are, then you've come to the right place. Now on to the show. Here's your host, Bill Balcerski.
Universal Disney Nuts. I am Bill, your host. UDN live from the Tiki Bar with our usual suspects, Mr. Dave Indy.
Hello. Why is he pointing at me?
Because you remember the last podcast. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Tanya is with us.
Hello.
You got me all miscombobulated because you said something when I was trying to introduce Dave, and the next thing you know. Okay, moving on. Warm day.
Slightly.
Yeah.
It's nice, though, right? We've got a little breeze.
And then by tomorrow night, it's supposed to drop down into the 40s tomorrow night.
Yes.
It better
It's going to be
not.
like a 50-degree difference from today till tomorrow night.
I'll be so happy.
Right?
Parks are busy.
They are.
Very. It's just going to get busier.
It's going to get busier, and it's going to get hotter. I mean, we're looking at scorched earth here. The summertime comes through.
Yeah.
For all of those of you who have not been in Florida during the summertime,
So when the locals hit the shade.
stand by to stand
They
by.
come out at night
Yes,
instead of during the day.
The locals will not be out during the
Yeah,
day.
we will not be at the park. We're like roaches.
Nope. That's not going to happen.
And it was funny because last Saturday we were meeting up with a friend of ours, Dan, at Epcot. And there was, like 5 or 6 people that were leaving Epcot. And there was a bunch of people that were all, walking into Epcot. And Saturday, Epcot was open till 11 o'clock at night.
Oh,
and
wow.
it's like 5:30 when we were walking in. And I overheard the one guy being like, well, I don't understand why people are just arriving to Epcot. And inside my head, or to Bill, I said, well, one, we're from Florida, and we usually go to the parks at night because it's cooler.
Yeah,
and
they
two,
don't get it. They don't get it, bro.
Locals.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
And
Yeah,
two,
because we can. How about let's go there
Yeah.
first?
First, we can.
Because we can.
Two,
And two,
it's cooler at night. than
we're
during
not
the day.
stupid because we live here.
And three, it was still open for another 4.5, 5 hours.
And you're leaving, so that's less people in the park. I don't know how many times I used to go to Epcot.
we're winning
Yeah.
across the board
Of
here.
course.
I used to go there almost nightly when I used to get off at a decent time when I was at Universal, because Universal always closed early because of the neighborhoods behind it. Epcot
Right.
was guaranteed to be at that time open to 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
I always had at least 6 to 9 at least to be there just to
Yeah.
walk around, even if I did nothing but walk around. And it was good exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Something to look at besides the Norway girls. But
I miss my Norway girls.
they need
Aw.
a hug when they come back.
You poor guy.
Oh, they need more than just that. But anyway,
Whoa,
we're moving on.
Daddy needs a
really? William.
Well, I got to keep it in perspective. I can't do what I usually
It's
do.
a small world after all.
I'm off the market, kid. I'm a married man. I don't know where your head's
It's like
at.
a menu. You can read it. You just can't order.
Mm.
It's true. It's true. And when you've had everything on the menu already.
Moving on.
All right, so let's get into this because we got a lot to pass today. Fantasyland is receiving its own version of a makeover. As you guys know, the castle has a new look to it.
Yes.
We got the blues, we got the rose gold.
Yeah.
So now Fantasyland is being painted the same color combination in preparation for the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World.
Yeah, I saw the Pinocchio house already. The roof, I guess, was painted already.
And in addition to the new color scheme that the castle has, they have a new paint design, which shows more, it gives it like a more of a 3D look to it. It's got zigzags painted on it.
Interesting.
And it's also got new bunting on it.
Yeah, they were putting all kinds of jewels and bows and everything else on it.
As long as it doesn't look like that birthday cake
The
thing that
Pepto-Bismol
they
cake.
tried to
From the
pull off.
25th anniversary.
Oh, God.
I kind of missed that now.
I never actually saw it for the 25th anniversary.
You never did?
Make it
No.
stop,
Oh, yeah.
bro. Make it stop.
I hated it when it was there, but looking back, I'd love to see that thing kind of just come back. I don't know why.
There's
now.
pictures out there, bro.
Oh,
You're
I
good.
know. I'd wear that on a shirt.
Oh, God. It was. Oh,
Did
it
you
was
ever at least see
disgusting.
pictures of it?
Oh, I've seen pictures of it. I would have loved to have seen it in person.
It was
but-
different.
Not to come out with my age, but I've seen it in person, and it was dismal. Like, it was bad.
Trying to remember if that's when I was working for the Magic Kingdom or not.
Sticking with Disney news, Disney announces new reusable bamboo dining utensils
Say that 3 times fast.
are coming to Disney. No, thank you. Is coming to Disney parks
Yeah,
this
I saw
April,
those. It looks sort of like a cute little set.
and that is in honor of Earth Month, which is upcoming this April.
Mhm.
These Disney park reusable bamboo utensils, shut up, Dave, are a must-have, according to the Disney's website, for waste-free snacking, and will be available at select locations in the spring while supplies last.
Well, they already sell them during the Food and Wine Festival.
Yeah,
Is there a spork? I want a spork.
No, there's a fork, a spoon, and a knife in there.
is this the modern day pocket protector? I mean, you got your little clip on the side, and it's got a little Disney thing on there.
Instead of my wine holder for Universal, I got my utensil holder for
You keep your
Disney.
plastic spoons, mister. I have bamboo utensils.
And my plastic straw.
And my plastic. No, paper straw, sir.
No, I'm taking
Paper.
plastic.
Or the metallic one. You know, those steel ones that expand?
Well, you're gonna need to make fun of Victoria because she has her own bamboo silverware that
Oh,
she
God.
brings. So.
Make it
Well,
stop.
good. She can get me the spork from the Star Wars because I saw that was back.
So, in honor of
Oh,
that,
okay.
find a tree, go hug it. There's plenty out there if you like it.
I'm staying quiet.
This is interesting because we talked about the People Mover before, but the People Mover is now in testing phase.
TTA.
And if you know anything about the People Mover, it's had a tumultuous life cycle here the last 2019, 2020. It wasn't a good year for anybody, but it wasn't a good year for People Mover. I mean, there's a whole laundry
it
list of
wasn't
stuff.
open the entire
Come on, it was smoking
time.
at times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you go through all the stuff. They're testing it right now with the original date of April 3rd, which was like the 7th or 8th date that they announced that they were going to have this ride open. Between the fire that broke out in January, it wasn't technically a fire. It was soda that got spilt and it hit a hot
And it just smoked.
smoke.
Yeah, that was last January.
It was a
Right.
fog
20th,
machine.
Yes.
2020.
That's correct. That's where we
Yeah.
are. Try to keep up.
Hey.
Cars crashing
Smaller
into
words.
each other. Kona joins the podcast.
Again.
Hello, Kona.
So they started with the testing, but then the cars started crashing into each other, which is crazy. People had some injuries. People had some issues. And they wound up suing Disney because of those injuries that were sustained on that ride.
Yeah, because it moves so quick.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
let me tell you.
it's had a tumultuous life, to say the least.
I don't
But
know
now,
The top speed on that ride would be if they actually cranked up the linear induction motors.
I don't know.
God, who knows?
I know how many there are on that ride from when I worked it. From 94, I still remember that fact.
How many?
I would assume that they would probably be able
Yes.
to get it up to a pretty good amount.
Yeah, but do you know how many motors there are on that to push it around?
I have no clue.
Take a guess.
9.
No, way more. Not even in the ballpark on how many that ride has.
Well, 9 bundles.
How many motors total for linear induction motors across that? Or the magnet plates? How about that you see when you're riding it?
Oh, God, magnet plate?
Well, that's the linear induction motors for that ride.
I'd say 300.
Nope.
Higher than 300?
Remember, that ride's over a mile.
Wow. I don't know.
629.
What?
Yep.
Wow.
My trainer taught me it's 69 with 2 going at it in the middle. That's how I remembered it.
Awkward.
You'll never forget it now, people.
No.
That's awesome.
Like I said, 94, 93 technically, and I still know that fact. I also know it was a pain in the ass to run the Space Mountain.
See, and now you'll never forget that fact.
Never forget
folks.
that.
And there are
629.
Yep, and there's cameras, so be careful what you're doing on that ride. 'cause
Oh, God, yes.
I've seen plenty
Do
of
not
stuff.
think that you are alone on any of these rides. Trust me.
Yep.
But the last thing I wanted to say about the People Mover was that, unfortunately, a couple hours ago, and this is Universal Disney Nuts breaking news. My wife is laughing at me.
I was expecting that.
Yeah.
Wow,
Oh,
see?
that's the next thing I got to download. They've
Great,
announced
now you gave him ideas, Indy.
they've announced that the reopening is hit another yet unexpected delay, and it will not be open till May 1st, 2021. So the issues with People Mover
Continue.
continues.
We should
I
be
was really
thankful.
looking forward to it being open.
We should
but-
be thankful considering California doesn't have it anymore. They tried so many
True.
different things with
Yeah.
theirs, and it's not there. So they got that wasted, basically, spot where they won't do anything with it.
Yeah, California can't get out of their own way right now, so I don't know when they're going to do that. But
One step forward, always to the left.
that's right. Speaking of shifting gears, let's
Hey.
move to Universal. Halloween Horror Nights is officially announced.
Yes.
Fall. The event will be held 42 selected nights, beginning September 3rd and going all the way through October 31st. The event will feature 10 haunted houses, 5 scare zones, and a couple of live shows in 2021. How they're going to pull that off with COVID, we'll see.
I'll have to touch on that on a future one.
Yeah, you've got some more information, and we're going to let you hit it.
Not how they're going to do it. That'll probably be another one, but I do have info on HHN.
So here's a question. Do you think these parks are going to require people vaccinated before they let them in?
No,
No.
I can't see that happening, bro.
not with our governor.
I
Exactly.
can't see that happening. Also, part of the announcement was the Beetlejuice haunted house.
Yes.
So I will let Dave expand on that when we get to him. And staying with Universal, we're going to go to IOA. Now, you guys remember the Lost Continent, that place that's got the 8th Voyage of Sinbad stunt show, or had.
That's a rest area.
Yeah, that's gone now. And then the Poseidon's Fury walkthrough attraction, which is
never running.
shut down because of COVID.
And the
And-
talking fountain. We can't forget the fun talking
Gotta love
fountain.
the talking
Yeah.
fountain.
That would be
right?
the dream job to basically just
Oh, my
hose
God.
people.
Right?
And all you gotta do is just
Talk
talk
smack and hose
and
people.
push a button. That's-
That is a dream job for any
Now,
sarcastic individual.
It's funny you should bring that up because a lot of people thought that the guy was actually inside of it,
I know.
but he's not.
He's got a camera basically aimed
Yeah.
at it.
If you think there's somebody actually in there, you would be incorrect.
Yeah. How would he get in and out? I mean,
He
that'd
is
be
nearby, but
Yeah.
not.
He is nearby, and I'm not going to reveal where he is, but you need to look up.
yeah.
That's all I'm
And
saying.
around.
Okay, so as you remember, there used to be a rumor back in the day, which was a Tuesday, that the Lost Continent was going to go away and that they were going to bring the Land of Zelda in.
Yes.
But the Land of Zelda has gotten incorporated with the new Kids Land Nintendo World thing that's coming up, so I'm not sure what's going to happen there. The interesting part about that is they had sent out the rumor that they were going to take out the Lost Continent and put in Zelda, and then all of a sudden the Velocicoaster shows up.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
And it was like, I love that part.
That part is about the for you on the
That's
other
right. That's right. So, so the Velocicoaster's been that bright, shiny thing. Ooh, squirrel, right? And it distracted us from that whole talk. But that doesn't mean that talk has gone away. So now you see that they lost like half of their stuff to Hogsmeade, right? Because they had to do the Hogsworth Express train station,
Yep.
which literally took almost half of the Lost Continent area away. Then they lost the Sinbad show.
And that show was already done prior, which
I was
was
gonna
sad
say,
because it
I
was
haven't
I
seen that
hadn't
in a
seen it
long
in for
time.
yeah, I
It's
hadn't
been
seen
a
it forever,
very long
but
time for me too.
they had a lot of technical problems with the show is kind of why instead of just updating it, kind of like they refused to do, like Bill says, beat a dead horse.
Yep.
They just kind of let it go and stuff started breaking down. They finally closed it because attendance started really dropping in there.
Well, it started
Over
getting
the
lame.
years.
Once you've seen it, you've seen it. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
It's like Fast and Furious.
Yeah, and it wasn't like a cult following like Bill and Ted's, right?
Or
So, I mean,
Beetlejuice Review.
Yeah.
That one, I guarantee you there's going to be petitions to bring that back. I know there were already ones, but when that new park's built with classic monsters, there better well damn be another Beetlejuice review show, or I'm going to...
Well, they got a Beetlejuice house coming for Halloween Horror Night, so who's to say that they won't do that?
Say it
One of
3
the live
times.
shows.
He's still also a meet and greet in the park. Well, kind of.
Yep.
Meet and social distance.
With all that being said, the only really existing structures are like the bathrooms, the back of the house support,
Yep.
Mythios restaurant,
Which could be easily incorporated to other stuff.
which I think will be incorporated. I mean, Mythios is famous.
Mythos.
Mythos.
It all really depends who you talk to, neither, either.
Either. Wash.
Gosh.
Mythos.
That particular restaurant.
Yeah, I don't think that restaurant's going to go anywhere because
It's a top
always,
restaurant.
yeah.
It's an
like-
award-winning restaurant.
Yeah, exactly.
And the food is really good. And the decor inside's really pretty.
Yeah, so if you get a chance to check out that restaurant, definitely go do that
I'm gonna
because
have to go
it
the
has
next time
award.
because I don't think I've ever eaten there.
Really?
I don't think
The
I
food
have.
is so good in there.
Yeah, it's hard to get a reservation.
Now that
they're
Victoria is
popular.
a annual pass holder.
Well, Victoria and I are actually going on the 13th, so
There
maybe
you
we'll
go.
Well, she
So-
wanted a guide. I'm taking her. I'm sorry. My bad.
And to preface that comment she just made, that was me rolling my eyes. So, but if you get a chance to go to that restaurant, it's an award-winning restaurant. They won best restaurant for like 7 years in a row.
Yep.
Definitely go check them out. But you have the restaurant, and you still have Poseidon's Fury, but it's
and a
shut
few
down.
of the shops.
And then you have the marketplace there, right? So
Which got some cool shops.
they would have to redo the market area. They would have to redo the restaurant, take out the rest of the stunt show, and then redo Poseidon's Fury to something else.
Yes.
And they spent a lot of money on Poseidon's Fury,
Yes.
especially that walking through the water tube thing.
It was depressing when that wasn't working for those few years. That's probably one of the mind-blowingest things when that park first opened, to see that. and
Absolutely.
all of a sudden, you're walking through this vortex of water spinning around you.
And the way they got it incorporated in the ride is extremely cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it's neat to see when that stops spinning and you just see the water crash down.
I've actually been in there when the water crashed down on people. It's funny because it malfunctioned. And the funny part about it was we had already walked through. I think I was with Rich. I can't remember. But we had already walked through, and then the screen died, and then the lights died. And then when you turned around to look behind you, the lights were still on, but the water stopped, and there was like 4 people that just got doused.
Well, the good thing is
awesome.
Universal's very giving, so those people ended up with probably free food that day and free clothes.
And free passes for the next time, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what, Universal does with Lost Continent, because it's tired, man.
And
Like
there's-
that whole area is tired. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it really hasn't. Maybe it took off and it was popular in the beginning when Iowa first started opening in 1999, but I gotta tell you, it's run its course.
Yeah, well, I mean, you had Dueling Dragons, which became Dragon Challenge, which is now where Haggard's is. So
Yes.
that was it. You had, I remember what it was now, but Flight of the Hippogriff
Yep.
and stuff, which was part of the kids area as well. The only thing that I missed from those old days of Lost Continent, if you remember the Oak Tavern, that old tree-looking restaurant, that was probably one of the coolest, like, Lord of the Ring looking buildings. That's all I thought it was. It looked like an old wizard. You walked into a tree restaurant, which is where Three Broomsticks sits now in that area.
okay.
But I got a picture somewhere. I'll have to dig it out. But it was just the coolest looking thing. I'd love to see that come back. But there's also rumors that Harry Potter will eventually eat up that area too. That's always been a rumor as well.
Doesn't surprise me. I mean, I was a little brokenhearted about Dueling Dragons because Dueling Dragons was an amazing roller
But
coaster.
it was over 16 years old.
Yeah, I know. It was dated. It was old. I get it. But
And in Hagrid's on the queue, there is
The dragons on the wall.
Yeah,
The Dueling Dragon
the
Club.
Dueling Dragon. Yeah,
right. To
Yeah.
honor the old
To
rides.
honor
And
the-
and
yeah.
I think that's cool that Universal does that, because for any of the old rides that used to be there, they honor the old ride in some way. There's some kind of Easter egg,
yeah.
you know, something like
And now in
like
City
Jaws
and in
and-
City Walk now, the new Legacy store, which I'll touch a little bit on, there's actually stuff in there referring back to when it was
To
Dueling
Dueling
Dragons
Dragons.
with the
Awesome.
dragon
Cool.
statues in front. I actually have a picture of that along with the tree, so I'll have to dig those out.
Yeah, you got to put them on Universal Disney.
Yeah,
Nuts.
I was there 4 days after Iowa opened.
That's awesome,
Wow.
man. That's awesome. Okay, let's move on because we still have stuff to do.
Yeah,
Just
we've
got
got
one
lots.
quick question for you guys. Does this park look fat on me? Ladies
No,
and gentlemen, congratulations to
You're
Universal.
just fat.
Awkward. Congratulations to Universal for hitting capacity for the 10th day in a row.
Yeah.
Talk about being fat.
Their pockets are getting there.
Their pockets are getting fat.
They are busy.
10 days in a row capacity. Obviously, we knew it was going to be busy because of spring break.
And their phone lines are like at the call center are like long still waits. 2-hour waits. They're shutting. They don't close sometimes till at least 9 or 10. I've been told they're shutting their phone lines at 7:30, 7 at night sometimes because they got that many people waiting in queue.
Wow.
Otherwise, they're not getting out.
They got like almost 10 hours of
crazy.
mandatory OT for a lot of those people in there on the call center, and they're doing a massive hiring. They've got people going through like hardcore training, and they're even behind the park.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd
Hashtag
be
get back to
interested in
work.
that.
So,
Hashtag free entrance and tickets.
yeah. So it doesn't seem to be letting up, which, is understandable. We had spring break last week, and now everybody's either staying around or realizing that Universal has no reservations. So it's been packed. And if you think this is bad, wait till we get through this whole COVID thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be nuts. Remember those days of slow times during the parks?
Yeah. That's a thing of the past.
Yeah,
now.
that's going to be like Dueling Dragons 2. Gone.
Yep.
It should be interesting to see how we proceed, but congratulations to Universal for getting to capacity 10 days in a row. Dave just handed me his cell phone. He's got something here. Disney to pay cast members for receiving COVID-19 vaccine.
Yeah. 4 hours of pay.
Is that what it is? I
Yeah.
was scrolling through the Universal page to find in regards
We're
to
not going to
stuff.
talk about COVID-19 vaccines because I am not opening that Pandora's box. But why
Follow
would,
Bill on Facebook.
yeah. Follow me for more recipes.
Oh, it's recipes, all right.
Hold on to your hats, folks.
Or just
'cause
follow
that's a
other,
bumpy ride.
or just follow any other Central Florida page,
Don't-
news
Yeah,
page.
exactly.
Don't even get me started, bro. Don't even get me started.
I always get tickled when I see Bill's posted something on News 13 or some page with a comment. I'm like, oh, I got to read these.
Right.
Stand by to stand by. I just like to kick the hornet's nest and watch people scatter
And then walk away.
and just walk away.
Yeah, he does that quite well.
I
He
do.
does.
The wind's picking up here. We might get some rain here.
They were calling. There was a 50% chance tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 23 in your programs, number 1 in your hearts, Mr. Dave Indy.
Hey, everyone. So, yep, definitely we're going to take a trip around the world, starting in Hollywood. Big news out there.
Yes.
Universal Hollywood is reopening on April 16th. I know, exciting. It's been,
Yeah.
a year plus
A little over, yeah.
on that one. So tickets actually start online only sales for the 8th of April. California residents only to start out, obviously.
Shocker.
Yeah, which I get. Hey,
Where are they at? There's 25% capacity, something like that?
I believe that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure because Disneyland could open at a certain capacity while the state of California already gave them authorization to increase the capacity again, and they're not even reopened yet.
Yeah.
So,
They're going to do it.
yeah.
They're different creatures than what we are down here. in
Well,
Florida.
no, and I understand that, but it's
They're gonna
encouraging
ease
that they
themselves
already
in.
have,
Yeah.
the okay to increase.
And I applaud that
But-
their efforts to take precautions.
Yeah, they're going to
Yeah.
ease it in.
Yeah.
So, and then
Oh, Dave Indy.
the annual pass holder preview, though, will be the 15th, the day before it officially opens, as well as additional bonus days, which can be reserved online starting the 5th. They don't really say what those days are, but those who are getting to go to California's Hollywood Universal, when the park does open, they are also going to be opening the Secret Life of Pets off the leash on that park. As
okay.
well as Jurassic World, the ride got their updated ending with the Indominus Rex, which was supposed to be there when the reopened back in 2019, but I guess it's 55 feet wide, it's 22 feet tall, blinks, flexes its arms, which all I have is this dinosaur flexing arms in my head.
To
That's a
Jurassic
big dinosaur.
Exactly.
55 feet.
Wide. Yeah, so I'm assuming it's probably long ways.
Long, yeah.
Is how it's going to be, because I think right now when you watch the POV from when it first opened in 2019, you just see a head on that one. But as I say, besides the arms and claws, it's going to clench its jaw, or her jaw. I guess it's a her. I never saw the movie. I wasn't in the dinosaurs.
Did we lift up the tail and check, or?
I'll leave that to you.
Okay.
I got nothing. No. Wow.
What's the pronouns for a dinosaur? Do we know? Never mind. Go ahead, Dave.
So, but the funny thing I have to laugh at is Universal again is rushing to beat Disney out the gate. When Orlando first opened, it was 2 weeks ahead of that, and just to basically cash in on those stir crazy people, and they're doing it again out in California. So I kind of have to laugh on that. So going to jump across the pond, or however they refer it, for Japan instead of England. Part of their 20th anniversary, they have some really neat different shows, which I'd love to see some of their street shows come here. I actually watched 3 of them last night on YouTube. One is The Power of Pop Unlimited, which is a lot of your songs around the world that were popular. Lady Gaga was in there, but they had one from like the top-selling Japanese movie now, which I didn't know. On that one, I didn't even write down the name, but that one was all right. But they had one called East Meets West, which was 3 violinists and 1 Japanese shamisen player. Looks like the banjo, the little square box thing.
Oh, okay.
That one was really interesting, and they came out playing Let's Go Crazy by Prince. And then they had a couple other songs in there.
That's certainly not the song you would envision when they were.
But yeah, especially 3 Japanese people. And the girl playing the little Japanese box was a girl. The other ones were guys on the violin. But it was like 20 minutes, and it was just like really impressive. And then the other one that I still always kills me is Sesame Street is very popular in that park over there. And they have a Sesame Street No Limit Energy. Elmo's doing drum stuff. I guess last year they had Afro beats, which was kind of cool because it was African style stuff, and they were all on drums. But Elmo is on drums again this year. Ernie's on rollerblades, and he actually does stunts in those costumes. And Bert is actually does stunts on a BMX bike. So it was kind of neat to think those big clumsy costumes, and they're doing actually true stunts.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of neat over there. But now we're going to jump back to our home area where we live. Orlando. Unfortunately, if you're one of those people that like prime parking, prepare to open your wallets a little wider. It recently was at $40. It went to $50. I know when it first opened, it was at $36. But now it's $50. Yeah. But honestly, I don't see why people pay for preferred or prime. Literally, take the stupid escalator or stairs, and even if they're not working, it's not that far.
Well, that's like at Disney with the preferred parking is $50.
Because they're lazy. They want to be close to the entrance.
But the difference with Disney is they're closer to an entrance. This is a parking garage. You just take the elevator down 3 floors.
You're still going to have to do that regardless.
Because this is on the same level as City Walk. You park on basically the 3rd level when you pay more. So you walk to the door versus actually going down a level.
But it's $50.
Yep. And general parking is $26.
And people will pay it.
Yeah. Oh, I know they will. But that's something I just never understood when they used to ask me all the time, do you want to pay? No.
Some people will pay it. Yeah. Some.
Yeah,
some people,
I agree.
Some people's got more money than brains. Speaking of having more money, Haagen-Dazs has now reopened, or has opened, for the ice cream lovers in studios. If you're a Ben & Jerry's fan, you may be disappointed to know they had closed. And the Haagen-Dazs took its location.
And there was some drama with that because a lot of people thought that it was a political thing and all this other stuff. It wasn't.
No.
It wasn't.
It's just contracts.
Ben & Jerry's contract expired with Universal, and they didn't want to renew.
Yep.
So that's the reason why it wasn't any kind of political statement or anything like that.
And considering Universal is pretty political free and very...
Thank God.
They're political free, but they're very supportive when it comes, like, if you can go there and you can get rainbow pride stuff left and right, unlike where at Disney you used not to be able to, which Disney's slowly cashing in on gay days and stuff now.
Oh, they've been doing that for years.
Yeah,
now.
but Universal's always been hardcore behind like a lot of the diversity. I mean, you'd be surprised how many diversity groups. You can just go to a very known and public page is uoteam.com. if you really want to see what goes on and like letters from Bill Davis and stuff like that, who from Universal, they'll post stuff out there occasionally that you can still read. You may not have access to certain things, but you can see the general gist of a lot of things on it. But yeah, so basically for Haagen-Dazs, it's located in the old Ben & Jerry spot, which is near the Starbucks over there. And then jumping up the City Walk, new store still coming along good for the new UO store. That's going to be huge.
Man, talk about, yeah, that's the key word there, huge.
Yeah.
Have you seen
Yeah,
the size of the store?
I haven't been able to get past
My
it since
God.
they've done a lot of work, but the signs were lit up the other night for it on that one. I can't wait to see that one. But I'm more excited still about the original store, the Universal Studio Legacy store, which is actually what they named it. It's celebrating 30 years of the park history. It's got a lot of retro merchandise, a lot of props. And I was even saying, even though I don't like the little creature, E.T., even they have him from his Halloween decoration with his
Leave E.T. alone.
with his clown shoes in there on that one. But they also have concept pieces in there, models, team member costumes and stuff. So it's definitely worth checking out if you're like a true theme park fan and want to see something kind of cool.
You do realize his days are numbered, right? Especially with that big park being built.
Whatever.
He's going away,
No.
and it's coming fast.
No.
He'll hopefully go away when Stillberg allows it. That's the biggest thing, because Stillberg is still a consultant for Universal. So that's the only reason he's made it this long.
Anyone who grew up in the last 10 years has no idea what ET is.
The only good thing of E.T. is Reese Pieces were invented because M&M's turned down the thing because they didn't know who Stillberg was at that time. And I bet they're kicking themselves ever since.
True story.
I'm sure.
Yep.
But
And then jumping over to, as Bill was saying, that big secret ride for the longest time, Velocicoaster. Large lockers have now showed up on the bottom level of the Discovery Center. Those are the paid ones that a lot of people rent for the day. But they took the old play area over there that used to be downstairs for the dinosaurs since COVID. Most of the play areas and a lot of places are closed off. The main lockers for the rides are still probably going to be somewhere around the end of the ride queue near the exit, just for ease of everything. And then obviously the most exciting other thing for a lot of people, since we missed it last year, other than a tease, Halloween Horror Nights 30. There's already a speculation map out. I know, I can't wait. Thanks to HH Nightmares on Twitter, they've kind of put out something already in regards to it. Some of them are even the rides or the houses from last year. Kind of curious to see if they've changed anything up from last year, just to give it a little fresh view on maybe a room or two.
You don't really have to. Not many people saw the houses last
but
year.
the ones that were open last year and we know are coming pretty much back are probably going to be Bride of Frankenstein Lives, The Revenge of the Tooth Fairy. Obviously, Beetlejuice has already been dropped and
Announced,
teased,
yeah.
and they've already had merchandise in the park that was snagged up quickly, which I want really bad because I like the fact that it says "Don't trust the living." And the other one that was confirmed in a video Universal did earlier on was Puppet Theater Captive Audience. On that one, they confirmed that last in 2020. The other ones that are rumored as of right now is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and HHN Icons Captured House, Welcome to Scary, Horror in the Heartland, The Wicked Growth, Realm of the Pumpkin, The Haunting of Hill House, and then there's one that we're still kind of waiting to see which direction it goes. It's called Creep Show. It's listed as a house and a scare zone at this time. Speaking of scare zones, the 30th anniversary zone, the best of scare zone mashups, which I hope that's over in the little Central Park area because that's usually the best place for all their scare zones.
Yep.
Terra Curtis or Curtis. And then there's another one that's just has original. There's no info yet on what it's rumored to be. And then as for shows right now, the only one that's being speculated is a fountain show. Fear Factor is thought to be a rest area for them. I don't know why they wouldn't use Animal Actor personally, or maybe they're using both. Who knows? But at this time, there's no Bill and Ted, and those who were a fan of AOV like I was, unfortunately, they're gone based on some issues they had with creative people doing things and a lot of drama there that I won't even touch on. But you can look it up on YouTube and the news and Google.
Thank you,
They're
Mr.
still
Indy.
talented.
Greatly appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Now, of course, it is time to bring in the lovely Tanya with your Disney news.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. So some quick updates If you remember from the last podcast, we had touched on Disneyland said they were going to make an announcement soon about their reopening. Of course, in true Disney fashion, and they came out with that announcement the day after we posted the podcast. So,
shocker.
I know.
I think they listen to us and do it purposely.
There you go. We would like to think that anyhow.
Yes, we would like to think that.
They've posted it. Go ahead.
But anyway, Disneyland did make the announcement that they are reopening on April 30th. So we have that to look forward to. Also, we had talked about Magic Mobile. Well, it went live yesterday, Tuesday, March 30th. For people that have an Apple Watch or an iPhone.
Yay,
Only.
no more Magic Bands.
No, Magic Bands are not going anywhere. Just put that out there. They are not going anywhere. This is to work in
If I could get
conjunction
into the
with-
park with my cell phone, why would I need to wear a hot, sweaty plastic band
because
on
some
my
people
wrist
don't want to use
when
their
I
phones.
could just use my phone that I'm going to bring into the park anyway?
Keychain, that's all I'm
And
saying.
what happens if your phone dies?
I'm already in the park. Let it die.
Then you get, what is this little booster thingies that
That's
you used to
right,
be
a
able to
fuel
rent?
cell,
That's
right?
it.
Yeah,
Fuel rod.
anyway.
Get
So
my fuel rod out.
currently, you can use it to enter the theme parks, connect Disney PhotoPass images to your account, gain access to the virtual queue for Star Wars, Rise of the Resistance, and coming soon, you'll be able to charge your Disney Resort Hotel Folio during your stay. The features are also compatible with DAS, which is the Disability Access Service, and redeemable at attraction entrance touch points as well.
Let it die. Let it die.
Anyhow,
There's no charge on my phone anymore.
you've got issues.
I'll be here all week, folks.
Tip your bartenders and waitresses.
That's right. That's right. I will be on the main stage.
Oh, man.
See, that's what you get for trying to push buttons.
She's trying
That's
to
what
push
you
your
get.
buttons.
Okay, you've completely hit the wrong button, and we're
I
back on
know.
Family Feud.
Sorry, my bad.
Well, that's not really wrong since she's trying to push your buttons. It really is a family feud.
Well played. Well played.
Anyhow.
I'll be on the side stage all week.
Oh, we got the comedians in the house today.
Apparently.
Yes. So moving on. Also announced today are the dates of the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival.
Gee, already?
I know.
Open your wallet.
So the opening date of it is July 15th and is running through November 20th. So you have 4 months to make it to the Food and Wine Festival.
You have 4 months to empty my bank account.
How much Orange Bird are you going to end up with this year? That should be a poll, too.
Okay, there was how many new Orange Bird stuff that came out?
For the Flower and Garden Show?
Yes.
Like 2.5 kiosks full?
Yeah, so there was what?
New or how much she already has?
No, it's mostly new.
No. So, no, just new stuff. So there was a glass, there was 2 Spirit jerseys, 2 T-shirts,
She's got it memorized on what
Ears.
it is.
ears.
Welcome to my hell.
Quite sure what else, but there
The
was a
shirt
few
you're wearing,
other
or
things
did
also.
you,
This was one of them.
Okay.
Okay, I picked up out of probably like 10 to 12 new items for Orange Bird. I picked up 2 items. 2.
You need a cash register sound in there. Ka-ching, ka-ching.
Oh, I had it.
I do not spend that much compared to
What else you got
some
here on your
people.
list there, Disney?
I'm defending myself.
She's probably got more
darn
Orange
it.
Bird than Magic Bands.
I don't know. The Magic Band was a pretty popular thing.
Well,
Congratulations to
Cheryl Severance.
Cheryl for winning that contest.
I was expecting you to have more than that. Other
She
than it was
won-
way too many.
Yeah. She won the UDN prize pack, which was a sticker and a magnet
Yep, I had 13 Magic Bands.
that she counts.
That was all of them. And
Okay.
to put it out there, Bill has 8.
That's a lie.
That is not a lie. Don't even. I had them split up, and They even had your names on them.
I'm like, I don't
even
remember this being mine. Oh no, that's yours. Oh, okay.
I bought it for you.
I don't remember this being mine.
I had 2, and one of them became my keychain.
Whatever. Anyway, so more news coming out of Disneyland is a project being called Disneyland Forward.
I'm excited about that.
I know.
Even though
I
I
really
live
hope
here.
this comes to fruition, but it is a proposal for a new theme park, retail, and parking expansion in California as Disney plans to work with Anaheim to reimagine the resort district. This would not be a standalone park, but an expansion to both Disneyland and California Adventure. To give you kind of a virtual or a visual idea of where we're talking about. So picture Disneyland being at the top of your map and California Adventure being on the bottom. And then in between, just to the left, is Downtown Disney and Disney's Grand Californian Hotel. Just to the left of those two areas, you have the Disneyland Drive, which is the main road there, and then Disneyland Hotel and Paradise Pier Hotel. So right in the area, Disneyland Hotel and the Paradise Pier Hotel, you're looking at above Disneyland Hotel to the right of Disneyland Hotel, so like heading towards Downtown Disney, and then below and to the left of Paradise Pier is where they're talking about doing this expansion into.
Yeah.
There are not any specific projects planned, but possibilities range from what's going on in other Disney parks around the world, including Frozen, Tangled, Peter Pan, Zootopia, Toy Story Land, and Tron. Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar was also in the concept drawings, and they wanted to reiterate that it was concept drawing only, that nothing that was in there was, set in stone or anything.
Exactly.
But possibly Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar would be included in kind of like an expanded downtown Disney area, because part of the area that they're looking to include in that is the area that's currently closed in downtown Disney, where like Rainforest Cafe and the movie theater. So they're looking to take over that whole area as part of the expansion as well. There's more information on it at disneylandforward.com. And one of the things that Disneyland did come out and say was, we want to bring more Disney investment to Anaheim. However, this simply isn't possible under current inflexible planning restrictions unless we remove and replace treasured rides and attractions in our parks today. Without updates, new Disney experiences and placemaking created from our beloved stories will likely never find their way to the Disneyland Resort as they have other parks throughout the world. With Disneyland Forward and more flexibility within our existing properties, new lands and adventures like those underway at Tokyo Disney Sea and Shanghai Disneyland could inspire new experiences here. And that was kind of a way, I don't want to say calling out Anaheim, because, there's a lot of restrictions in like building, and so projects that Disney has wanted to do, like an expanded, hotel and stuff like that, all of those projects in the past have gotten squashed because of, I guess, deed restrictions and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, the relationship between Disney and the city of Anaheim
was not always
the greatest to begin with.
But it has improved because there is a new, more Disney-friendly mayor that plays at Anaheim. So that really makes a lot of changes. Plus,
with everything closed, they want to see the
with
business.
Anaheim, yeah, especially, Anaheim getting, all the local businesses and everything getting, decimated from the whole COVID-19 thing.
Well, I think it's important that Disneyland expands and kind of makes it a little bit better, because Disneyland is the original, as we get, that thrown down our throats every time we're there. When we were out there and we told everybody we're from Orlando, they're like,
move on, get over it, Elsa. And
Right.
yeah.
Elsa.
No. Well, we're original. Yeah, you told us that 7 times.
But,
Thanks.
the good thing about this is that they don't have to purchase any new land or anything like that.
There's no land to purchase, though. I mean,
no,
Anaheim.
but they're using existing. It's like 500 acres that they're
and a
gonna
parking
be
lot
using.
and stuff.
Yeah.
That's their only option they
So-
have. There's no land available in Anaheim.
So
I mean, it's
some
exciting
promising
news,
things.
but
So we'll keep you updated as this story progresses. Hopefully, we'll see something because obviously, they certainly could incorporate a lot of different areas into stories into that area. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. And one last thing, also currently being tested at the Magic Kingdom is facial recognition technology.
Took them long enough.
Yeah. And that is going to be running until April 23rd, 2021. The technology captures an image of a guest face, converts it into a unique number that associates that number with the form of admission being used for park entry, whether it be Magic Band, physical ticket, or Magic Mobile. Participation is optional, but if you would like to participate, simply go to the designated lanes, take off any hats, visors, or sunglasses. Your face masks stay on. Going to face the camera, then position your Magic Band or other park admission to the scanner to activate the technology. That's it.
So they can start learning how to read facials only on partial prints.
Yeah. And after the test concludes, images and the associated numbers captured for the facial recognition technology test will be discarded within 30 days.
they're a private company. They can do what they want. They're treading on very, very thin ice.
I don't see a problem with
This
this.
This is an
because
invasion.
there's
Listen,
already-
I'm going to play devil's advocate here. This is an invasion of privacy.
I don't
and-
think so.
Facial recognition can be used to identify criminals coming into the parks. Like from a law enforcement aspect, okay, I kind of understand why they want to do this. Because if I was a criminal and I was wanted and I did the facial recognition to get into Disney, Disney has an obligation to notify the FBI to let them know that, hey, your boy just checked into my park.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's already being used at Universal for the express passes.
They've used it on stuff. Yeah, Beijing is supposed to, when it
And
opens.
this is a
supposed to be
very
that.
slippery slope.
I don't really see
When
an
I was
issue
still at
with it.
Universal before 2019, it was tested on the employees coming in the back B12.
Would you have
was
a
the main
problem
gate.
for retinal scans? That you put your eyes up to something and it reads your eyes? And
No.
okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that do. And I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of people that have a
And I
problem with
respect that. I mean, but it doesn't say that they're going to use that.
this. Why would they test it if they're not going to use it, Tanya? It's a very, very slippery slope. They need to be very careful
And
how
there's
they
quite
proceed.
a few people that have made their voices noted.
Later on, it'll be so we can customize your experience throughout the
Right.
park with your
Right.
face and add you into attractions when it recognizes you and say you by name.
I don't know.
As we slip this off to the FBI and other government agencies.
Speaking about acknowledging
But
by
other places
names,
can already do that, so I don't really see what the issue is. But
you know what the issue is?
Oh, I got lots of issues.
as does my husband.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Mr. Dave Indy with your Ask Indy segment. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Every podcast, we will take questions from our listeners and give it to Dave Indy so he could do work and answer
Yeah, right.
your questions live on the podcast.
At least I
So,
finally do something at my job when I'm sitting there.
Yeah, there you go.
Mr. Indy, take it away.
Hey, everyone. So today's kind of a neat one. Basically, wanting to know the difference between Disney and Universal when it comes to building stuff and kind of how sponsorships work out there. So some of this may be a little bit older, but there is definitely a big difference if you've ever been to the parks when you look around. Definitely at Disney. And it's not as popular as it used to be, but basically when Walt opened Disneyland to get Disneyland off the ground. No, when Disneyland was first being built basically for Walt to be able to afford it, he sold basically rights for stuff. So people would put their names on attractions and so forth. When Epcot was built, it was over $1 billion for it, but Disney spent very little money because people wanted to throw their names because of advertisement rights and stuff. Even when you go there now, Spaceship Earth, sponsored by AT&T, Test Track, General Motors, Nestle. So that when you go to Disney, basically that's why you don't see or used to see really the expansion that you would do on new attractions being built, because Disney doesn't like to build stuff, unfortunately, ride-wise or new shows without actually having somebody else basically cover the cost.
Yeah, of course.
Smart business need, but also bad for us theme park fans. They've gotten a little bit better because I don't think there's anyone sponsoring Guardians of the Galaxy.
No.
No, not
and
yet.
a couple of those. But with COVID and so forth, finding people that want to fork out a lot of money and cover stuff of that nature is a little bit harder to come by.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and as you know, Siemens used to be a huge sponsor of Epcot.
Yep. Besides Spaceship Earth, as I'll say, you
Yep.
used to see it every time when
The
Illuminations.
reflections,
Yep.
yeah.
See it roll across with a globe.
Reflections of Earth.
So, but
I think I still have that soundbite.
you
Go
got
ahead.
that, and I got my dinosaur. Oh.
That's right.
But that's how Disney basically does their sponsorship. But they don't do. That's why also they have a lot more hotels than Universal as well, because they don't do sponsorships. Where for Universal, the only true sponsorship that they have when it comes to slapping a name on something is the hotels.
Lowe's.
Yeah, Lowe's is very big, which is also very popular worldwide with its name, which also helps.
And if you
very
don't know,
Brand recognition.
Universal's
Yes.
hotels are almost all Lowe's.
Yep. Even the Hard Rock
Portofino,
is actually ran by
Hard Rock,
Lowe's.
Portofino,
Sapphire
Hard Rock,
Falls.
Sapphire Falls,
Aventura.
Aventura,
Cabana Bay.
Cabana Bay.
And-
Endless
This
Summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all Lowe's hotels.
That's who basically the partnership is, and that's the management company that runs it, and that's why their names are on the original ones for the most part. As you move kind of into Volcano, Cabana Bay, and Endless Summer, you don't see the names on it, and obviously Hard Rock's its own brand, but Lowe's has the right to management there, which is kind of a cool concept. But that's why also you see Universal throw up rides a lot faster, and they've guaranteed one for every year to open at a park. So usually it flip-flops between IOA and Studios, and then it'll be interesting when they open Epic. But even when they open Epic, they still plan to open at least a new ride at one of the other ones, just to keep people not going, ooh, I went to new shiny. So, but
It remains to be seen how Epic is going to go. I mean, we're still, 3-4 years away?
yeah,
At least.
2025 is when it's rumored to open. So you probably got the best view of anyone on the
Don't even get me started right now, bro.
Don't need you going Morgan and Morgan on me. So,
Oh, you went there.
oh, I went
Wow.
there. So,
Wow.
For the people.
when it comes to sponsorships, like I said, Disney and Universal definitely are two different beasts, how they handle it. Disney likes to use sponsors to build stuff, as well as if you looked up, from everything from running to the Dole Whip is sponsored, which I was kind of surprised even by the fruit and stuff. So Disney
Dole is a huge sponsor.
Yeah. Disney is very sponsor driven, or has always been when it comes to merchandise and stuff. And then when it comes to Universal, they're more independent, but you will see them only on hotels because that's out of their knowledge base. So that's kind of an explanation on how Universal and Disney kind of build stuff in a short kind of crazy way to explain it for out there. So, but definitely a great question. Sorry it wasn't a little bit more precise, but sometimes finding that sponsorship stuff, especially as quickly as they sometimes change hands on
Right.
contracts, like some of the stuff I found was so outdated on who was sponsoring, and they haven't really had an updated list unless you're at the ride.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's
So-
a great question, and we certainly appreciate you covering it. It's an interesting topic to see how the two parks interact and then do their own thing.
Who
So,
pays for what?
Right.
right. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Dave Indy with your Ask Indy. Thank you, sir.
You're
Greatly
welcome.
appreciate it. So now we progress forward,
Not
ladies and
digress.
gentlemen.
Oh no. It's a random topic.
I couldn't introduce it better. This week's random topic, with talking about Universal hitting capacity and setting that 10-day record. I was curious which park has the highest amount of attendance, both in the United States and the world.
Oh.
Settle down, Gronsky. Settle down.
know.
This is your random topic.
Random topic.
All right, so check it out. I have here in front of me a list of the top 10, well, really top 25, but we're only going to do top 10 theme parks with the highest amount of attendance. Now, this is from 2009 to 2019, pre-COVID. We obviously know what COVID did to the parks.
Right.
However, this is right before, these last numbers that I have are right before the parks got hit with COVID. All
And
right.
Is this one the worldwide or
No, this
just
is United States.
United States?
So if you had to take a guess, what would it be? Number one,
Magic Kingdom.
Yep. For U.S.
of course. Magic Kingdom is number one. And some people would say Disneyland, but with the amount of people that are out there, but that would be
Nope.
incorrect. And what's interesting about these numbers is that it has steadily increased. There's no like dip in attendance. It's constant increase. I'll give you an example. Magic Kingdom here in Walt Disney World started out in 2009 with 17,233,000 people. In 2019, right before the pandemic, they were at 20,963. And the numbers just increased every single year.
Yep.
Exponentially, right? So if Walt Disney World here in Florida is number one overall, because we're winners, what would be number two?
I'm going to say Epcot.
I'm thinking it's Epcot as well. Animal Kingdom? Because I know Universal's like down around 4 or 5. Because I thought the Disney parks outbeat Universal, like the top 3 were Disney parks in.
I want to say like the top 4 or 5 were Disney parks.
You got to think U.S. now.
Oh,
Come on,
U.S.
help me out.
Disneyland.
That's correct.
We were still
Disneyland
local.
is number 2. Anaheim, California. They started out at 15.9. And in 2019, they topped out at 18.6.
Jeez.
Right? So, with that being said, now we move on to number 3. What do you think number 3
Now it should be Epcot.
I'll go with Epcot. Huh.
You would be wrong.
Animal Kingdom?
Animal Kingdom?
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Animal
Not a
Kingdom.
zoo?
It is a zoo, but we're not going to go there.
Oh, you two need to get over it.
9.5 when it's in 2009 and is well over 13.8 before the pandemic. So if Animal Kingdom is number 3 on
Now
the
we're
list,
going with our Epcot answer.
that would be correct, ladies and gentlemen. Why Disney Animal Kingdom is higher than Epcot blows my mind because it is an overpriced zoo, but I guess it's an animal thing. I don't
Shade.
know. Shade.
Shade.
Epcot started at 10.9 and in 2019 ended at 12.4.
I think they fluctuate depending on the festivals.
Yeah.
All right, so what's number 5?
Universal
Islands of
Universal
Adventure.
Studios.
Is that your final answer?
IOA. No, I don't think it would be Hollywood.
What would that be?
I don't think it's Universal Hollywood, unless it's California Adventure.
You got the Hollywood, right?
Hollywood Studios?
Really?
Ladies and gentlemen, Disney's Hollywood Studios is number 5. 2009, they were at 9.7 visitors for the year, and they finished at 11.4. So, with that being said, what would be next at number 6?
Or
California Adventure.
Or Hollywood, California? Universal? The studios can't be because I didn't think it was that close up, is it? Don't tell me SeaWorld.
All right, enough.
Yes,
Berry
please.
Farm. I mean, I can start
Thank
going.
you.
Number 6, Universal Studios Florida, Orlando, started out at 5.5 and ended at 10.9. Number 7, Islands of Adventure,
That one's less. I'm surprised it's not the other way around.
here in
Yeah, me
Orlando,
too.
4.6. It finishes at 10.3.
You have to figure the Diagon Alley is on
But
UA
Travelocity is, always put IOA as the top theme park for the last 4 years. So that's why I'm just kind of surprised.
Number 8, Disney's California Adventure in Anaheim, California. 6 million guest visitors in 2009
Wow.
for the year. They finished at 9.8 in 2019. So as you can see, the park attendance significantly grows over the 10 years.
The park prices
Yeah.
significantly grow over the last few years.
Of course, of course. Of course, Universal Studios Hollywood is next at 4.3, and they end at 9.1. And then coming in strong at number 10,
SeaWorld.
ladies and gentlemen, SeaWorld 5.8 million guests in 2009, and they finished 4.6.
Oh, so theirs went down.
Wah, wah, wah.
Well, they had a lot of stuff happen
Yeah, they
between
did.
Blackfish.
Yeah, they did.
True.
Well, Blackfish opened. The
Well-
original Harry Potter opened with Hogsmeade and then Diagon, because it used to be everyone went to Disney. Universal was a one-day trip. Then we got Wizarding World over there,
Mhm.
and then Blackfish followed right behind, and
wait.
it killed SeaWorld.
What year was Blackfish? 2012, right?
I think so.
Because if you look
Yeah,
at the
and
numbers,
when did Anheuser stop being a sponsor also?
I want to say sometime around there as well.
Yeah.
But let's look at this. So the parks, they started at 5.8, then they went down to 5.1 in 2010.
That's when they opened Hogsmeade
Mm-hmm.
was 2010.
And then SeaWorld's numbers were 5.2 and 11. 2012's dropped down to 5.0. 2013 was 4.6. So they went, in a matter of 5 years, they went from 5.8 to 4.6.
Mm.
And then 4.7 in 2015.
2013 Blackfish.
Okay. So that makes sense on the dip
On the
because
dip there, yeah.
they were 5 million in 2013. Blackfish comes out 4.6, 4.7, 4.4, 3.9. So now Blackfish is just strangleholding them.
Now, was this just the Orlando one, or was this San Antonio, or
No, this is strictly
San Diego?
Orlando.
Okay.
Number 11, believe it or not, is Knoxbury Farm out in California.
Hmm.
3.3. They finished 4.2. Busch Gardens is number 12. We're going a little past the top 10, but
Tampa Bay?
Tampa Bay,
Okay.
4.1. They finished 4.1. Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio. Hey-oh. 2.9. And then they finished at 3.7. And here's something interesting, little tidbit. Number 18.
Six Flags Magic
Six
Mountain.
Flags.
Great adventure.
Great adventure. Jackson, New Jersey.
Jackson, New Jersey.
Woo! Representing.
2 point. Awkward. 2.6
a
in
little things.
2009. And they finished strong in 2019 at 3 points.
Surprised they're above Magic Mountain in California.
Magic Mountain is 15.
Wow. Because usually it used to go between Cedar Point, Magic Mountain as who had the most coasters.
Yeah,
Mm.
so Magic Mountain is there. Magic Mountain is just under Cedar Point.
Wow.
And cracking the top 20, which is nice to see.
Gatorland. No.
Keep dreaming, kid. But if you have a chocolate fix,
That would be.
Hershey Park?
ladies and gentlemen, Hershey Park,
Oh, that's awesome.
Hershey, Pennsylvania,
Woo!
2.8,
I
and then it
love
finished
Hershey Park.
3.3.
They got that new coaster that looks really cool out there. I forget the name of it.
Hershey Park is actually a pretty cool place.
I
Yeah.
love-
It started out very, dun, 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 but then it really,
I just
got
watched
into it
something, Foods That Made America, and it talked about like Hershey's and Milton and all
Yep.
that from Mars. It was
Very
really interesting to watch that on like Hershey and stuff. And
Yeah, it's
Yep.
a really cool backstory.
oh yeah, like all of those, I was like, wow,
And him starting the school and everything
how much
else.
he really
Yeah.
cared until the
Yeah.
labor disputes hit, and then it
Mhm.
like he just went hands off.
oh yeah.
And how many people had their hands from Hershey's and Mars and stuff, and how M&Ms came to be. It was amazing to see all
Yeah.
that stuff.
The chocolate wars, if
It
you
really
will.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So now we're going to take that information we just passed.
Mm-hmm.
Those are U.S. parks. Now, no, we're going Mr. 305, man. Mr. International. Here we go. Right. So for all you Pitbull fans out there. So now we're going to
Actually like him.
incorporate this into the top 10. Let's go top 15 of theme parks around the world
Okay.
as far as attendance. So if you had to guess number one, it would be
Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Magic Kingdom, right?
Still, yes.
Still. Number two would be
Still,
Disneyland.
Disneyland.
Yep.
Number three,
I'm going with either Shanghai or Tokyo.
ladies and gentlemen, she nails it. Tokyo Disneyland. 13.6 started in 2009, and they finished at 17.9.
Wow.
So staking with the Tokyo scene, what would be number four?
The Sequest?
You're close.
Seas.
What do they call it?
Tokyo Seas.
Tokyo blank C. Give her the D. Give her the D.
Disney.
Thank you. Tokyo Disney Sea. I can't believe your husband had to request that. Tokyo Disney Sea, Tokyo, Japan, 12 in 2009, and then finished up at 14.6. Your World, Mr. Indy, number 5.
Universal Japan.
Universal Japan, that's correct, sir. 8 million for 2009.
Since it's the top one for the Universal parks.
And then 14.5. Now, keep in mind, these numbers that I'm reading are annual attendance numbers. So if I say...
And in the millions.
And in the millions, right? So if I say Universal Studios Japan, they're at 8. That means for 2009, they had 8 million guests.
Yep.
Yeah, just not 8 people.
No.
Right. It's like your little Disney game there with your amount of people you hit your parks. Okay, so after Universal Japan, we come back home.
Epcot. Oh, no, Animal Kingdom.
That would be correct. So Disney's Animal Kingdom, 9.5 to 13. What would be next? Obviously.
Epcot.
Epcot. That's correct. Now things get interesting. We are back overseas.
Shanghai?
No.
Really?
Trying to think.
I will be very surprised if you guys get this.
It's not Ferrari World.
No. I'll give you hints in China.
In China? Give me a moment. I'm thinking Chinese parks.
I'm just going to say it because you guys aren't going to know
them,
this park.
so.
Chimlong Ocean Kingdom.
Actually, they got an expansion going on over there. But, yeah, I would have not thrown that name out.
Yeah, they started in 2014. It's a relatively new park. 5.5 when they opened, and they're at 11.7.
Wow.
So what's number 9, close to home?
Hollywood Studios.
That's correct, sir. Very good. 9.7.
Had to make sure you pushed the right one.
And they finished 11.43. Yes, I did. And then number 10.
Our Universal.
No.
No?
But you were right about the Shanghai.
Shanghai Disneyland?
Correct. Started in 2016. 5.6 when they opened, 11.2 before the pandemic.
Wow.
And then the last 2 on the list for the top 12.
Our Universals and IOA.
Correct. Universal Studios and Islands of Adventures, number 12.
I'm surprised like Blackpool and stuff over in England doesn't, but that's more regional. That's
So a couple of notable mentions. Disneyland California Adventure is 13.
Paris.
Paris Disneyland is 14. Universal Studios Hollywood is 15, which I'm very surprised about that.
It's
well,
much smaller
than, yeah.
Hong Kong Disneyland is 21. Walt Disney Studios Park at Disneyland Paris is 23. And Chimolong Paradise rounds out the top 25. So
Curious to see how it will work in when Epic's built, as well as Beijing this year.
yeah, Epic is going to be, well, epic. And so I think...
And Beijing is going to be very popular because it seems overseas, those parks, Universal seems to hit more of that local crowd, I think, overseas than here.
Yeah, it's a great point because Beijing they spent a ton of money on, and I think Epic is supposed to blow that amount right out of the water.
Oh yeah.
So, but ladies and gentlemen, there is your random topic for this week.
Very cool.
Hashtag does this park look fat on me? So we're gonna move on to sponsors because we're gonna wrap up this little gem of a podcast. As you guys know, I sound like a parakeet, but I will.
A parakeet? Try parrot.
Is it a parrot or
Parrot.
parakeet?
Parrot.
Okay. I sound like a parrot, but I've got to tell you that. Are you done?
Not even close.
Okay, let it out. Let it out.
Universal's animal actor, actually, their McCall actually had flown off and was MIA for a short time in the park.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Oh, really?
it left
Interesting.
it left the building.
Whoops.
They actually found it was over by Fear Factor, but
Interesting.
it's kind of cool.
So if you guys have paid attention, listened to the podcast before, Rock Stars and Flowers is a major, major sponsor for the podcast. We certainly appreciate them being on board. Go check them out at Rock Stars and Flowers Facebook group. They are announcing an Instagram page, and they are also coming out with a website soon. If you have not seen these guys work, you have got to go check them out. Absolutely amazing. These guys paint hand-painted murals of anybody you want. if you have a rock star that you idolize, these guys can paint a mural of them and they put their own special touch on them. It is absolutely amazing. Clint does an amazing job out there. So, and go check them out, Rockstars and Flowers. And we certainly appreciate their support. Obviously, we're going to continue to pump the marketplace. This is a special thing that our fearless leader, Jen, has come up with, and it's an amazing place. It is your one-stop shop, the AKA Amazon of the world. All you have to do is go there and pick out what you want from the Universal and Disney world.
Yeah, we have some sponsors through there with 3 cheeky chicks.
Yeah. All different kinds of local businesses, and they have a ton of different things available for you. And if you have family and friends that are big Universal and Disney fans, you are definitely going to want to go check out the marketplace. It is amazing.
Yeah, Magic Feather Shop is back up and running again. So
yeah, we're glad to hear
that.
Yes. Yeah, and there's a lot of cool stuff. So go check it out. You get a lot of discounts, you get a lot of cool swag, if you will. And in the process, you help us out and UDN out by purchasing your item through Marketplace. That helps us keep going. As you guys know, we do this out of the generous part of our hearts. We don't get paid for this podcast. We don't do anything like that. We merely do it for the love of the parks. So, and we certainly appreciate you guys listening. That is for sure. So with that, we will wrap up yet another amazing show of Universal Disney Nuts Live. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in these parks, understand it's going to be busy.
Yes.
They're just going to keep getting busier and busier. So, especially now that vaccines are out there.
Yeah, and the housing market down here is just going ballistic.
Oh, it's crazy right now.
It's unbelievable. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in these parks, have fun, be safe, and we will talk soon.
You have been listening to the official Universal Disney Nuts podcast. Please visit our website at worldofudn.com and join us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for all the latest updates, news, and events from your favorite theme parks. See you in 2 weeks.